Assalamualaikum to our beloved lecturer, Ms. Fatihin. Today, in this our title video is about case study known as Amanda Knox. Before we are going to start, I'm going to introduce you our team members. Okay, my name is Nurhayati binti Masrib. Here is we have Rikha shamirta. There have Jannah. Here we have shazmeer bin Siddiq, and last we have Imran hafiz. Thank you for today. So I will pass this presentation for the next presenter, which is Jannah.
The murder of British as a student, Brady Kutcher, in November 2007 and subsequent conviction in December 2007 and acquittal October 2011 of American Amanda Knox and her Italian boyfriend Raffaele Solicito in Project Italy have made international headlines. According to the prosecution in the first instance trial, Kutcher had been brutally murdered by Amanda Knox and her Italian boyfriends Raffaele Solicito with an outsider, Rudy Guede, as part of a chess game that had been turned violent. In July 2008, the prosecutor in Persia laid formal charges on all three of the suspects. As allowed by the Italian law, the case was sent to appeal on December 2010, and on October 3, 2011, both Knox and Solicito were acquitted and cleared of the murder charge. Amanda Knox, Raffaele Solicito, and Rudy Guede were the suspects of Brady Kutcher's death. The couple claims that they found the front door open, with the windows broken, and the blood in the bathroom. The couple hurriedly called the cops, and they kicked down the Kutcher's bedrooms and found Kutcher's bloody body with a covered bedspread and with her throat cuts. They were taken to the police station and interrogated for 5 days. 2 weeks after Amanda Knox and Raffaele Solicito arrest, the DNA evidence from Kutcher's rooms reported that the result matched with the new suspect, Rudy Guede. Amanda Knox and Raffaele Solicito were convicted of murdering Kutcher. A jury reviewed the case based on doubt over the collection procedure in 2019, and they were freed after 4 years in Italian prison.
Okay, so now we are moving to the next point, which is I'm going to explain about victim's background. So her name of the victim is Meredith Susanna Kutcher, who was born in 28 December 1985, and she died in 1 November 2007. She was a British student on exchange from the University of Leeds, and Kutcher studied European politics and Italian. And now she was murdered at the age of 21 in Perugia, Italy. Kutcher was found dead on the floor of a bedroom. By the time the blood-stained fingerprints at the scene were identified as belonging to Rudy Guede, police had charged about Kutcher's American flatmate, Amanda Knox, and Knox's Italian boyfriend, known as Raffaele Solicito. The subsequent prosecution of Knox and Solicito received international publicity, with forensic experts and juries taking a critical view of the evidence supporting the initial guilty verdicts. Guede was tried separately in a fast-track procedure, and in October 2008, he was found guilty of the sexual assault and murder of Kutcher. He subsequently exhausted the appeals process and is currently serving a 16-year sentence. Knox and Solicito were released after almost 4 years following their acquittal at a second-level trial, even though Knox was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for maliciously accusing an innocent. PPE that involved in Amanda Knox's case are shoe covers and protective suit. But in this case, it is shown that the crime scene unit did not wear a proper PPE. Supposedly, they should not forget to wear gloves and masks when they want to collect the evidence. Wearing protective masks at the crime scene is mandatory to prevent contamination. Gloves help protect when directly handling potentially infectious materials or contaminated surfaces. In this case, prosecutor Giuliano Migini and detective Monica Napoleoni is shown that they are wearing shoe covers outside of the downstairs apartment. And next, in this picture, it is shown that the Patrizia Stefani looking at the bloody fingerprints on the wall of Meredith Kirch's bedroom. She has taken the hood of her protective suit off, which is not a proper PPE that they should follow. Every crime scene unit, they need to follow the correct procedure to collect the evidence.
The police processed the crime scene by dusting with fingerprint powder to reveal fingerprints. Of the numerous fingerprints found at the scene, only one print on a glass in the kitchen was identified as Amanda prints. 14 of the prints were not identified to anyone involved in the case. A key piece of evidence was a bloody palm print found on the pillow under the victim. This was identified as belonging to Rudy Gordon. Secondly, is investigator found a cooking knife collected from the drawer in Solicitor's kitchen was found to certain minute sample of DNA from Knox. Knox DNA was also mixed with DNA sample of Meredith's blood found on the sink in the bedroom the two share. Lastly is a broken bra found in Kirch's bedroom collected 6 weeks after the murder was identified by the Italian forensic expert Patrizia Stefani as containing minute sample of DNA traced back to Solicitor's 2011. The evidence like the kitchen knife, blood and the fingerprint on the glass was first taken by the police officer. The investigator was labeled the evidence and then they were transported and brought to the lab for research and analysis. The evidence then were given to the research lab for further investigation. The upcoming results show that only gut DNA was found. The following account of the day leading up to the trial will provide a prime example of illegal investigation, investigative and interrogation technique. Poor evidence collection, packaging and storage as well as unacceptable forensic analysis and testimony. Two forensic experts from Rome's La Sapienza University are sworn in and will retest crucial forensic evidence used to convict Knox. They will take a second look at a knife and clasp from Kirch's bra, which were cut from her body after her murder. Results from the test are expected in May. Forensic specialists tell the court that DNA evidence linking Knox to the illegal murder weapon is unsound, giving a boost to her appeal. Specialists say that while they agree Knox DNA was present on the knife handle, tests for Kirch's DNA were unreliable. The prosecution contended that the knife was used to stab Kirch's in the neck and that it had been cleaned. The sample, however, was so small the forensic scientists were not able to double test it in accordance with international forensic science norms, which Knox legal terms say raised doubt about its validity. Defense lawyers said the tiny metal clasp from Kirch's bra may have been contaminated because it was not collected as evidence until near 6 weeks after the killing. Prosecutors have said there was DNA from Rafaela's Solicitor on the clasp.
On March 27, 2015, the final appeal by Knox and solicitors was heard by Destination High Court. It was decided that the case was baseless. So, as to certainly free them for the murder, his defamation charge upheld. The 3-year sentence was considered handed down, and the time he was serving the prison sentence. On 7 September 2005, the court has a report on actual exciting conspicuous offences, investigate amnesia and guilty negligence. So in which part of the 5 charge the prosecutor who made the original murder conviction failed to prove the truth of overall. Last but not least, the European Court of Human Rights has ordered Italy to pay compensation to Knox for violating human rights hours after his arrest in Perugia. The error that leads Amanda Knox's wrongful conviction. The defense suggests that the Guede was a lone killer who had murdered coaches after breaking in. Knox's lawyers pointed out in that no shoe print, clothing fibers, hairs, and skin cells or DNAs of Knox were found on Kutcher's body, clothes, handbag, or anywhere else in Kutcher's room. So, the prosecution alleged that all forensic traces in the room that would have been incriminated Knox and had been wiped away by her and solicitor. Although not part of defense expert team, an authority on the forensic of DNA, Professor Peter Gill, publicly said the case against Knox and solicitor was misconceived because they have a legitimate excuse for DNA being present on solicitor's kitchen knife and in the crime scene apartment.
The implication of miscarriage in justice for Amanda Knox's case is she said that she felt like she was still in a prison. This was told by her when she was having a press conference in Netflix documentary. Believe it or not, I actually do feel very at home in a room full of lawyers. Knox said that in the press conference. She also said that she felt scared and afraid. In her Instagram post, she wrote the caption, 3 days till I returned to Italy for the first time since leaving prison. Feeling afraid, so I made my own inspirational workplace poster. Hang in there, just imagine I'm a kitten. Prevention on wrongful conviction. This is how the researchers agreed that prevention should apply to individuals across the whole criminal justice spectrum and recommendation of following strategies. First, perform DNA tests early in the case to weed out innocent suspects. Second, create checklists for investigation or checking out a work alibi before moving the case forward. And the third one is have prosecutors establish open file discoveries where the defense has open access to the evidence file to prove the suspects are innocent.
Thanks for watching and thank you for listening. If there any question, please let us know.